December 11th, 2008. A cold night in New York City. Thousands of people were sleeping peacefully. Retired couples believed their savings were safe. Charities believed their money was helping people. Millionaires believed their investments were growing. But on that same night, one man was about to reveal a secret that would shock the entire world. A secret worth $65 billion. A lie that had survived for decades. And a fraud so massive that it would become one of the biggest financial crimes in history. The most shocking part? The criminal was not hiding in the shadows. He was not wearing a mask. He was not running from the police. People trusted him. Banks trusted him. Experts respected him. His name was Bernie Madoff. And this is the unbelievable story of how one man fooled the world. A simple beginning. Bernie Madoff was born in New York in 1938. At first, there was nothing special about him. He was not born into a rich family. He did not inherit millions of dollars. Like many young people, he simply wanted success. In 1960, he started a small investment business. The company was tiny, the money was limited, and nobody could imagine what it would become. Year after year, Bernie worked hard. His business grew. More clients arrived. More money flowed in. Slowly, he built a reputation. People began to see him as a financial genius. Someone who always seemed to know the future. Someone who always made money. Soon, powerful investors wanted to work with him. Banks respected him. Financial companies admired him. And investors trusted him with their life savings. Bernie Madoff had become one of the most respected names on Wall Street. But behind the success, a dangerous secret was growing. Chapter 2: The Impossible Returns. Investing is never perfect. Markets rise. Markets fall. Some years bring profits. Other years bring losses. That is normal. But Bernie Madoff seemed different. No matter what happened in the economy, his clients kept making money. Month after month, year after year, the numbers looked almost perfect. When markets crashed, his clients still made profits. When other investors lost money, his clients stayed calm. People were amazed. How does he do it? What is his secret? Why is he always successful? These questions should have raised suspicion. But instead, they created trust. The more successful Bernie appeared, the more people wanted to invest with him. Some investors even felt lucky just to be accepted. Giving money to Bernie Madoff became a symbol of status, a sign that you belonged to an exclusive club. But nobody realized that the success they were seeing was not real. The profits were not real. The strategy was not real. And the empire was built on a lie. Ending cliffhanger. For years, the lie kept growing. Millions became billions. And billions became tens of billions. The world believed Bernie Madoff was a genius. But in reality, he was building a financial time bomb. And when that bomb exploded, thousands of lives would be destroyed forever. The biggest financial fraud in history. Part 2. The lie gets bigger. Opening. For years, Bernie Madoff looked unstoppable. Investors trusted him. Banks respected him. Financial experts praised him. And every month, the money seemed to grow. But behind the scenes, something very different was happening. Something illegal. Something dangerous. A fraud so large that it would eventually shake the entire financial world. Chapter 3: The Secret Behind the Success. Most investment companies make money by buying and selling stocks. The market goes up. The market goes down. Profits and losses are normal. But Bernie Madoff was not doing that. In fact, much of the money investors gave him was never invested at all. Instead, he used a simple trick. When new investors deposited money, that money was used to pay older investors. The older investors believed they were receiving profits, but the profits were fake. The money was simply coming from new victims. Then more people joined, more money arrived, and the cycle continued. As long as new investors kept coming in, the system survived. But there was one huge problem. The entire scheme depended on trust. The moment people started asking for their money back, everything could collapse. Chapter 4: The Perfect Illusion. Bernie understood something very important. People trust confidence. So he created the perfect image. His offices looked professional. His reputation looked flawless. His reports looked impressive. Everything appeared normal. Every month, investors received statements showing profits. The numbers looked real. The documents looked official. Nobody suspected that many of those numbers had simply been invented. The illusion became so powerful that even experienced investors believed it. Some people invested their retirement savings. Others invested family wealth built over generations. Charities invested millions. Business owners invested everything they had. And all of them believed the same thing. Their money was safe. Chapter 5. The man who tried to warn everyone. But not everyone believed the story. One financial analyst kept asking questions. His name was Harry Markopoulos. For years, he studied Bernie Madoff's business. The numbers did not make sense. The profits were too consistent. The results were too perfect. In the real world, nobody wins all the time. Harry became convinced that something was wrong. Again and again, he warned regulators. Again and again, he sent reports. Again and again, he explained why Madoff's success seemed impossible. But nobody listened. The warnings were ignored. The fraud continued, and the money kept flowing in. Looking back, many people would later ask the same question. How did nobody stop him? As the years passed, the scheme became enormous. Millions turned into billions. Then billions turned into tens of billions. The fraud spread across countries. Rich families invested. Celebrities invested. Financial institutions invested. Charities invested. Many people believed Bernie Madoff was one of the safest investors in the world. But the truth was terrifying. The larger the scheme became, the more dangerous it became, because every new dollar created a bigger problem. Every new investor increased the risk, and every year made the collapse even more devastating. Bernie was no longer controlling the scheme. The scheme was controlling him. He had built a machine that could never stop, because the moment it stopped growing, it would die. The storm approaches. Then came 2008. The world economy began to shake. Banks were struggling. Financial markets were falling. Investors everywhere became nervous. Many people wanted their money back. For the first time in years, large numbers of investors started withdrawing funds. And that was the nightmare Bernie had feared for decades. Because the money was not there. It had never been there. The system that looked so powerful from the outside was actually running out of time. The world's biggest financial fraud was about to face its greatest test. And this time, there would be no escape. Ending cliffhanger. For nearly 20 years, the lie had survived. The warnings had been ignored. The victims had trusted him. And billions of dollars had vanished into a giant illusion. But now the economy was collapsing. Investors wanted answers. And Bernie Madoff was running out of options. For nearly 2 decades, the lie had survived. Billions of dollars had flowed into Bernie Madoff's empire. Investors trusted him. Banks respected him. And the world believed he was a financial genius. But now, the global economy was collapsing. People were scared. Investors wanted their money back. And for the first time, Bernie Madoff had nowhere left to hide. The biggest financial fraud in history was about to fall apart. The beginning of the end. In 2008, the financial crisis spread across the world. Stock markets crashed. Businesses failed. Banks struggled to survive. Investors became desperate. Many people contacted Bernie Madoff and asked for their money. Not a few $1 million. Not a few $100 million. They wanted billions. There was only one problem. The money did not exist. For years, Bernie had been paying old investors with money from new investors. But now, new money was disappearing. The machine that had kept the fraud alive was breaking down. And Bernie knew the end was near. The confession. December 11th, 2008. A cold evening in New York. Inside his apartment, Bernie Madoff sat down with his 2 sons. For years, they had believed their father was running a successful investment business. But that night, everything changed. Bernie finally told them the truth. The business was a fraud. The profits were fake. The empire was built on lies. According to reports, he described it as one big lie. His sons were shocked. The man they trusted most had just admitted to one of the biggest financial crimes ever committed. The next morning, everything began to unravel. Soon after the confession, federal agents arrived. Bernie Madoff was arrested. The news spread across the world. Television channels interrupted programs. Newspapers printed special reports. Investors watched in disbelief. Many could not accept what had happened. Some had invested their retirement savings. Others had invested money meant for their children's future. Many people lost everything. Years of hard work disappeared almost overnight. The trusted financial genius was now one of the most hated men in America. The numbers were shocking. Billions of dollars were gone. But behind those numbers were real people. Retired couples lost their life savings. Families lost college funds. Charities lost money meant to help others. Some victims were forced to start over late in life. Others never recovered financially. For many people, the pain was not only about money. It was about trust. They had trusted Bernie Madoff with their dreams, and he had betrayed them. The emotional damage would last for years. Chapter 12, Judgment Day. In 2009, Bernie Madoff stood before a judge. The evidence was overwhelming. The fraud was undeniable. Victims filled the courtroom. Many wanted answers. Others wanted justice. The judge delivered a sentence that shocked the world: 150 years in prison. It was one of the harshest punishments ever given for a financial crime. The message was clear. The law had finally caught up with the man who had fooled the world. Chapter 13, The Final Years. Bernie Madoff spent the rest of his life behind bars. The empire was gone. The luxury was gone. The respect was gone. Everything he had built had collapsed. In 2021, Bernie Madoff died in prison at the age of 82. But even after his death, the story was not over. Investigators continued trying to recover money for victims. Families continued rebuilding their lives. And the world continued asking the same question: how could one man fool so many people for so long? Final message. The story of Bernie Madoff is not just a story about money. It is a story about trust, a story about greed, and a story about how appearances can be dangerously misleading. For years, people believed they were looking at success, but they were actually looking at one of the biggest lies in financial history. The lesson is simple. If something looks too perfect, if profits seem too easy, and if nobody can clearly explain how the money is being made, be careful, because sometimes the most dangerous fraud is the one that looks completely safe. One man, one lie, $65 billion, thousands of victims, and a lesson the world will never forget. This was the rise and fall of Bernie Madoff.